Say something.
It's no secret. It's plain to see. I love you, and you love me. It's no secret. You know it's true.
Looking good.
You love me.
Right back at you, brother. What's happening? I almost walked into a ladder. Oh boy, bad juju. Alright, you wanna kill the weight pod?
The only time we see
I walked right past the live instructor.
is in the middle
Yeah,
of the night.
let's kill the weight bot. Can barely hear you.
Can I feel your heartbeat? 'Cause something's not right.
Maybe it's the giant construction site or the airplanes flying up. Can you hear me okay?
Say something.
Bueller.
All right. That's pretty good. Happy Cyber Monday, everybody.
Happy Cyber Monday. It's a momentous occasion, guys.
Man, we are cyber as hell.
I am literally storming the beaches of Miami as we speak. So look at that.
Beautiful.
Guys, we are shilling in the sand. It's the shark minds first. We are now multi-state operators. Whoa, we're touching sand here, guys. Welcome. Happy Cyber Monday. Steve, Corey, how were the family festivities?
I ended up drinking more than expected on Thanksgiving, and paid the price the next day. But the show goes on.
Well, isn't that kind of what Thanksgiving's for, right? Is to just kind of enjoy and be of plenty and live in gratitude.
Thanks were given.
Yeah, thanks for giving. I was going to say I follow suit, Steve. Didn't really do much because I was under the weather, and the best way to get over that is to drink it. Drink the sorrows away.
I've heard the opposite. I've heard it's hydration and vitamin C.
Potato.
Yeah, well, but, I was playing dad this Thanksgiving, and it was wonderful. My wife went out of town for 4 days and had to hang out with the kids, and then she came back, road trip to my folks, and then my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law came in. So very, very family festive, and then no rest for the weary, right off to Miami Beach for our week Miami.
Yeah, how long are you down there?
I will be down here Monday to Monday. I'm leaving, so about one day set up here on the front end, 1 day of pack up on the back, and 5 days of showing art.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty lit. Like the whole reality of this thing is kind of starting to set in. It's gonna be a trip, man. The Miami doesn't play, but we are not here to sell that out.
I hope you have time to rent like a Ferrari or something and cruise down South Beach.
Fast cars are not my speed. I'll just crash it into something. I'm more of a walker, as you can see. As I'm strolling.
I hope you get some nice strolls in.
Dude, we gotta get our walk in before Jeopardy and Jello and bedtime. You know how we do it here in South Beach. In by 8, right?
That's right.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we're not here to talk South Beach, though. Today's a very special day, right? We've been working our tails off to actually prove we know how to make NFTs, right? So
we are internet artists.
Yes, we are. Are we artists now? Can we officially call ourselves artists? What is the judge's ruling on that? Corey, you're like the only real artist here, so we're gonna let you be the arbiter of whether Steve and I's output qualifies as art.
I was gonna say, looking at this show artwork, I don't know, man. You guys got, I mean, there's some high quality stuff going on there, and it happened kind of quick. I love it.
That's what I'm talking about.
So Corey, when we came to you with this half frame scheme like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, about shilling for our supper and selling art to fund our podcast, what'd you think about that idea, especially as somebody who's kind of new to the blockchain?
To be honest, I'm still kind of in a position where I'm like, what the fuck did I get myself into? But
Beautiful.
at the
We
same,
got you right where we want you, baby.
yeah, but at the same token, it's like, it's a learning experience. It's something new, and I'm thinking future forward. So let's get it cracking, as they say.
I hear that. So,
All right.
Corey, you're actually like a real artist. You've been doing art for years, right? Like street art, you've done art for movies, you've animated, you've done videos, music, all kinds of like real art. Like you're like a legend OG in like the Chicago street art world, right? You even have like a code name and everything, right? Like what has it been like, jumping with both feet into, the pirate seas here where we're sailing on?
It's been a pretty fun experience. Like I said, it's uncharted territory. I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, but I'm enjoying that there are opportunities out there that are waiting for me to discover them. And I'm just glad to be a part of the ride and be on the show to, meet with new people, build community, find some new avenues to kind of play around in and, get serious about as I get more knowledge about what I'm, the the journey that I'm embarking on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Well,
as Corey's been getting his MetaMask and OpenSea account all set up and putting art up there, I've been learning, how to use basic like Canva and Pixlr and photoshopping art together, and it's definitely been a process. There have been some late nights in there of bashing my head against the wall.
does this mean that I hold like the resident crypto art belt in the squad here? Or I guess that really comes down to the sales, right? I feel like that's going to be the only real arbiter is the numbers, right?
Yeah, this is America, and money is what makes the world go around. So
So so Steve, you really lived up to your moniker as a first mate here with onboarding your first official crew member to the Web3 Cs here, right? What what can future crew members expect here from the funky Steve Bootman first mate experience in terms of joining the Stark Minds crew? How do you bring a new mate on?
uh, definitely I'm not an expert in the Web3 stuff as much as I'd maybe like, but running through the process of setting up the MetaMask and your like ENS domain and tying everything together, that was good to it was good for me to run through it again. But we got Corey set up. He's got JNX.eth. He's got some artwork up in here, and now we're ready to take it out to the streets.
Well, tell us, Steve. Where can folks find the show page out on the streets?
Oh, the Pirates Hit Collection on
Wow,
OpenSea. We got 10 items, just
no way.
begging
Tell
to
us
be.
tell us about these items, Steve. I'm gonna stand up and walk for this. Like I gotta listen in. Like tell me
Yeah,
what kinds of
there's-
fine items and JPEGery are these pirates shilling today?
we've got 10 items for each episode. we're doing one showpiece, which, let's see here, how many?
I got a couple of those. There's just one of those up there right now, the Guy Fawkes mask, and I think I'm going to do 11-ish editions of that for a dirt cheap price. This is going to be early adapters. First in. You got one of those Guy Fawkes masks with Howard Stern, Dave Chappelle, and John Oliver. That trifecta, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're just set for life. That sounds like generational wealth. Like, both
absolutely. Do I know how to post? Do we know how to post links? Can we post links in this?
I don't know, dude. I would love to tell you, but hey, you know what? This is an experiment, right? We talk about innovation, we talk about intersectionality, we talk about experimenting. Like, we are not technology experts. I was a marketing lawyer, allegedly have a degree in some kind of finance and accounting, but like accounting and technology, not my cup of tea. So I must say, it was really an immense lift by the squad here to figure out how to get an OpenSea page up. So, disclaimer to to all the degens out there that we're not framing this as any endorsement of OpenSea. We're just really pretty incompetent when it comes to understanding blockchain. So the first,
absolutely, like fuck OpenSea on the one hand, in that they, I think they like own your contract or something if you mint through their page. I still don't even fully understand that, and we'll be looking to chart our ways on the high seas and create our own platform.
You know what?
But for right now,
for degen pirates, like, there's no better way to kind of get your licks, get your reps in. Get over the greenies and the seasickness by selling in the open sea, the most vicious, predatory fucking marketplace out there.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, you too can buy shit pegs and rug pulls from your favorite shipfluencers. But not us. We have real JPEGs. And you know how I know they're real? Because it was really hard for me to make them.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, so we've got we've got GIFs, we've got animated pieces, we've got standalone sort of digital artworks. We've got photos of Corey's illegal graffiti in the midst of COVID.
We got hot products here on day one. Corey, tell us about this. Tell us about your, as like the real artist in here, like, brag about yourself a little bit, man. Tell us about your art background and a few of the pieces that you've done that are just, some of your favorites, man.
I was going to say before we got into all the bragging, because that's exactly what I love to do about my do on this platform, is just brag about my work. I wanted to ask both of you guys about your process with creating JPEGs and like your dabble, your struggles. Like, some people look at art as like it's just something that people do, and it doesn't really have any value. It's like a hobby for in most people's eyes. They don't see the value in it. And I just like your opinions on that, like just your personal.
Well, I'm happy to field that one first, but for me, it was a really conscious choice. It was something that I had never really done before. I never felt like I was an artist, never considered myself one. But as I got to know this Web3 space and just saw how much of a deficiency it was to not be able to like participate, even in just like the day-to-day conversations of the way people use art to talk and communicate and share ideas, like it felt really debilitating for me not to be involved in it. And I wanted to be involved in the conversation with my friends. So I
Oh, you're breaking up. You're pushing Miami to its limits.
And CCO stuff.
Thank you to
finding ideas.
You're breaking up, Mike. But thank you to Lily for the suggestion to put the link in the fortune cookie here. So if anyone wants to follow along, we'll run through some of these pieces and what we're aiming for. Let's see. I'll start out with my first piece. Remember for our first episode, which was a AMA with Stark, and here a dramatic scene from Batman with during an interrogation, and some fancy explosions, some Guy Fawkes masks. That was for the 5th of November. Pretty simple, but got me started down this path.
Hey, was that your first piece, Court, or your first piece, Steve? Like the first ever Stephen Bootman joint?
Yeah, that was. I think I downloaded Canva for this, and any like meme. I'm trying to think of what kind of like memes. Before that, I would only basically just go into. Oh no!
So take the audience. Take the audience into the game, make this real. We're getting down into the field on Sunday. We just had some turducken. I'm getting into the helmet with Stephen Bootman as you're lining up for your first play from scrimmage, getting ready to stare down the barrel of a JPEG. Pop quiz. What do you do, Hotshot?
Well, first got some sort of concept of thinking about the episode and what we're aiming for. So like for this first one, it was an AMA with you, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna grill the shit out of this guy, and I'm gonna interrogate him. And I
how'd that work out?
Oh, you didn't know what was coming. You were dead in the water. But we got to the truth.
Yeah. And the truth still sets you free. So tell us the truth about this piece and what you learned about Guy Fawkes.
What did I learn about Guy Fawkes? I learned that he was kind of the fall guy for the more powerful people he was rolling with. Someone sold him out. Both sides now claim him, both the people supporting the British Empire as well as the revolutionaries. They both claim him as a symbol of their own
power of symbols, right?
Yeah.
Especially ambiguous symbols, right? It can be turned and used in a bunch of different directions if the public gets behind it.
And so that was fun. That was pretty quick. The next one, 11/11, is this one took forever. This was cobbling together basically a collage of a ton of different images, and getting all the different layers and everything was much more complicated than I expected, and gave me that much more respect for all the artists out there creating.
It's so fucking hard, dude. It is so hard to stare at a blank iPad to be like, oh, I have to make something, right? You're like, okay, well, let's just draw something with this pencil here, or what is the game plan?
and even past the blank canvas stage, once you've got everything, and then little tweaks just involve a cascade of additional changes, and then you continually you continually think you're done, and then be like, oh no, I got to make one more change. I got to do this, and then you save it, and then you realize Canva doesn't let you type in emojis, and none of that renders, and then you got to go in and redo everything. But it's pretty happy with the final piece here. Got a bunch of pirate crypto funks, pirate radio. You with the JNX flag.
Shill. So tell us, what did you price those pieces at? Whoa. We got trucks coming, we got police coming, we got some Miami activity happening. Holy cow.
I'm setting right now, timed auction, 7 days, starting price at 0.0069.
Yeah.
And
The hell of a
we got Corey set up with his MetaMask address starts with 0x69. He's really just the Web3 gods smile upon him.
Yes, I think
this listing is going live.
This is great. It's really good to hear, your feedback about your artistic process and, starting your journey as an artist, because, a lot of people are really spectators, right? And they are quick to criticize, critique, judge, tear down, even uplift, all of the above. But, when it comes to their own creative process, they're staring at a blank iPad. They're staring at a blank piece of paper. They don't know whether to use the pencil, the pen, the spray can. Like, they don't know where to start. So it's good, at least you've got a vehicle to drive, your visions through. And it's really cool to see how things are coming together. Because you guys are first timers when it comes to making art, but I'm a first timer when it comes to this Web3 stuff. So, like, just interesting the contrast there.
We're all first time hosts, and I love that we're like giving ourselves permission to just fuck up and make it as we go. And like that is like the one thing that I've really fought for with this is to not define it. Everybody wants it to be defined, wants it to be this. It fits in this category, this demographic, and it's like, dude, we're still making it. Like, we don't even know what it is totally yet, and that's the best part, right? Because I think that's the part about art. It's beautiful too. Is it, you don't know what you're going to fully get when you start, right? You have ideas, you have concepts, but any general will tell you, like, the best plans, they ain't worth shit when they meet real life, right? So I think art is just kind of a real good microcosm of that too, in some ways.
Yeah, like we were aiming for going live for this episode on Black Friday, but we're figuring this out as we go, and luckily Cyber Monday provided a beautiful backup.
Yeah, and you guys got way better views too. I mean, look, there's like people hang gliding and shit over there. Like, come on now,
you gotta get them hang gliding in.
Oh, look, come on, look, like this is Miami Beach, and you know what, in the winter. So I'm leaving snow and 30 degrees to come here and chill with artists and talk about philosophy and humanism and enlightenment and Renaissance. So, to come and do this is really kind of a break and a relief in some ways. And it's really cool to kind of have an outlet to talk about all that stuff, because it's art is a fascinating and never boring, interesting business and world to be in. And I think the options and paths available to people, whether artists, collectors, collaborators, whatever it is, I think all those lines are blurring. And for one, love encouraging artists to kind of try to break and blend and test and poke and prod, because the only limits on how you choose to distribute what you're doing now are really your imagination. And
That's very
you
well
know what?
said. I was gonna say that's very well said because there's so many different outlets. There's so many different things that I would say that I channel my creativity in. Whether that's me at work, whether that's me, working on music, whether that's producing, out in the streets doing something illegal. Like, just it's all of it adds it adds to it, right? Like you said, what I'm learning about these gas taxes and all this lingo I know nothing about. It's like it all adds up. Like it's somehow, some way, and it's cool to be able to represent it here.
Yeah, it's for sure. It always adds up. There's always a technocrat or a venture capitalist in your pocket trying to make money off your art. But no, I'm kidding. Because what the blockchain has really done is opened up distribution, and it's made art discoverable to all kinds of new people, and it's made it a contact sport, a participation sport, right? Where you don't have to go through middlemen or galleries or a lot of kind of the old traditional institutions to be a part of it in a meaningful way now. And I think that is just such a fundamental shift that really gets glossed over a lot here. I mean, the biggest breakthroughs and rapid changes in human history in terms of advancement have come when there were breakthroughs in communication or energy. And I've been in startups for 10 years, and the one thing that I've really learned from all of that is it really seems to come down to one thing. Can the upstarts build their own distribution before kind of the incumbents leverage their capital and scale advantages, right? And I think blockchain opens up
Yeah,
all
that's
of
great.
these.
But we're here to shill art, and so I'm now finishing my second listing and realizing that just as we're learning, we're learning about making art. Corey's learning about putting it up on the blockchain, and I think some of our listeners, I think a big part of this show is going to be just educating people about how to get into this. And I'm seeing now that doing an timed auction rather than just a fixed price means that people will have to buy it in wrapped ETH, not just normal Ethereum. And so these are set up on a week time frame. If anyone has any questions on how to convert your Ethereum for wrapped Ethereum, just reach out to us. Be happy to.
So, Steve, why should you always, Steve? Can you enlighten the people as to why you should always wrap your ETH sticking in somebody else's wallet?
I don't know that you should always wrap your ETH.
I don't know either.
See, here's the best part about that is, like, again, you guys are speaking a completely different language to me, right? And which, for me, like you said, this is a platform where we're learning. It's a platform where education is happening, knowledge is being spread. But then you've got me that's like willing to like take the journey and learn new things and figure out new stuff. But what about the people from different communities that don't really have access to the internet? They don't have access to OpenSea. They don't have access to the Stark Mind Show that's educating people how to do this. Do they just get left behind in the dust, or what?
Well, Steve or Corey, I mean, first of all, everybody has access to Stark Mind Show, right? I mean, do you have YouTube? I mean, everybody has
People
YouTube,
need
right?
access
Or
to the
Spotify.
people need access to the
Yeah.
internet on some capacity. I think you could go to a library
And we're gonna give shouts to our main man Jordan Sorrell, who's out there bringing broadband to the people with Comcast NBC, doing amazing work in the community with community internet hubs and all that too. Like there's a lot of nuances to these challenges, and I think what you're getting at, Corey, is the most fundamental question: is it's the quality of access, the quality of opportunity, right? That's similar to like the original .com boom. Like there's a whole new commercial global internet being built, and some people are going to win and some people are going to lose. That's why all the big scale tech companies are pivoting and spending billions of dollars to get into metaverse all of a sudden. Look at Zuck, right? And That question of equality of access of all this is truly, truly fundamental. And it's one that I think is probably going to be central to this whole show as we figure it out. And it's, Corey, it's one that I think we're really committed to. And I'm really glad you mentioned that, man, because this lets everybody participate directly in a one-to-one, peer-to-peer way in truly unprecedented ways. It's really just a question of, can we organize into structures that share that benefit and that value appropriately? And honestly, so far the answer has been no. And I think that's why it's fun to do this show right now when the whole crypto world's on fire, because you know what, who cares? So let's fucking try something new.
Yeah, and Corey, I mean, I'd be curious with your with your thoughts here. I think I would say that the realm of cryptocurrency and like internet art is probably only accessible to people that can access the internet. And they're, to engage in any other way is essentially just to engage in like traditional community art, which is great, but that's not going to be necessarily engaged with the internet art space. That said, I think it would be it's a great focus to say, like, how can we get more people access to the internet, like not just for our art, but that's the future of sort of the world. And so whether that's through
Steve,
libraries
it's going to go one further on this one too, because blockchain is going to really give people the ability to own their own data in ways that I don't think people have quite wrapped their heads around yet either. So, I think we should flag this, because I think we're here to, have a fun Cyber Monday and show a little bit of art, because I think this is going to be one that we're going to be really, really revisiting a lot, and it's going to be kind of a frequent theme of the show. And I know we're going to let Corey talk about his piece at the end, and I think we can kind of circle back on a little bit there too with some of the work Corey's done. But
I'm listing my third piece right now, called "By Our Art," which is a scene from a Black Friday crowd as they're like surfing TVs across the crowd, with a number of my favorite Shillers depicted. We've got Billy Mays with OxyClean. We've got the Sham Wow guy, Donald Trump showing Trump steaks.
Oh boy.
We've got Jim Cramer. And
nice.
we're out here making money. So for the low price of $8, anyone can place a first bid there.
I like it, Steve. And what'd you set it at? 0.0069?
Correct.
All right, now I see you got three pieces up. Which one's the deal, right? Obviously, now that you're a born salesman, so you put three pieces out there. One of them, is going to attract the eyeballs. Which one do you think is going to be the hotcakes of the inaugural Steve Bootman Stark Mind Show Pirates Hit Genesis Drop Shilltacular Cyber Monday Extravaganza?
Yeah, of mine, the second piece, the pirate radio, is great if there's anyone within the CryptoFunks community. They might love the funky nature of it. But I think my newest piece, I'm pretty happy about it. Is that
a Wagmark tower? Is that a domed head at the top of that tower I see to give maximum signal range?
Yeah, that's a crypto mark for our friend Mark Andreessen, venture capitalist overlord of Web3. I hope he just stays home and does nothing for the rest of his days.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than soft opening fascism all over the world. Yeah, I much prefer to stay home too. But what can you do?
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? I got some live Stark Minds news drop. In case you were wondering who owns the ENS names, A16D's Nuts. what has two thumbs and owns A16D's nuts with both spellings. This guy.
This guy. Love
Oh,
it.
mercy.
Well, let's
All
hear
right.
about your pieces.
All right. Well, which one do you want to hear about first? So, you know what? I started with the very first mint is actually one that I had worked on and spent some time on working over the last few months. I didn't know it was going to be the show piece, but it was one that I had just been working on for fun because I fucking wanted to. And my kids, my wife and I gave each of them a animal middle name. My daughter, Tiger, my son, Eagle. So we've always kind of joked about spirit animals, and I've always kind of felt like a fox is my animal. So I was experimenting with stable diffusion for the first time, just to, see what the hubbub is about, and started playing around with
AI art.
Yeah. Well, then I took that AI fox, and I had a number of different ones I was looking at. I kind of like the Lucian Freud styles of Fantastic Mr. Fox ripoffs, a little bit in that vein, as you see there. But then I started to build on it, went a little more conceptual, and then I started to layer in some of my favorite people, whether it's Pericles, whether it's Muhammad Ali, whether it's Jacques Cousteau. A lot of people that have inspired me throughout my life and my journey. I kind of tapped into there in some ways, and there's a lot of little hidden allegory and kind of nods to evolutionary biology in there too. Show one to me, and I figured with the show starting, we might as well give it a spirit animal.
Love it.
Yeah,
this looks like actual art.
Thank you. Holy shit, we've made it to the top. No, you know what? I kind of think about it from the Native American perspective. I don't know if selling my spirit animal is probably the right way to get our show going on good juju. So if any of our listeners choose to become the owner of the Stark spirit animal, I humbly ask that you refrain from the voodoo side of things. Keep it friendly. Keep it at least NC-17.
Please.
Yeah, but then which one do you want to hear about next? So that is the one out of all of them that probably speaks to me the most personally, just as about who I am and what I care about.
Love it. And we've got, let's see, the very famous fox.
That's a special one too. Secretly a very famous fox is a special one too. Shouts to my main man Avery Famous, secretly a very famous artist. He's in the midst of a revolutionary new school known as the Boat Period, and pioneering some groundbreaking work in aquatic art right now, and truly mastering the art of performance art on Twitter. So, Avery kind of was the guy who gave you and I a nudge that said, "Hey, you can do this. You can be shit posters or whatever the hell this is." But no, that's the first time I'd ever been asked to join an art gang. So, Corey, what was it like when you were asked to join an art gang for the first time?
It was pretty interesting. I wouldn't even call it an art gang from where I come from. It was more so like a crew thing, and riding the buses.
That's much better terminology.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, there's just the boundaries or where those lines can get blurred.
Gets messy.
Yeah, it gets messy. That's the best way to say that. So it was more of a crew thing for me, and
we advocate.
Yeah, riding buses, CTA buses in Chicago, and you would see, kids that would have their scratch pens or their sandpaper, and they would etch their names into the windows, and it was about how many times you can get your name up, but then you would see everybody else with their names up attached with like a 3 or 4 letter crew. Historically speaking, like graffiti artists kind of run in packs and they look after each other. So the first time I was invited to an all-city writers meeting was probably in about 1997 or 98, where it went from what I knew in the classroom to learning and meeting other people that were my age doing graffiti and just figuring out that there's so many people engulfed in this. She's like, you should have told us morphin' time. Shout out to the Green Ranger.
R.I.P.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you get into this. We're sitting in front of the Harold Washington Library. At that time, there was a Burger King right across the street, and there's like 150, almost 200 people out there with black books and pencils and markers and things to write with, and just kind of fellowshipping and talking about graffiti and the trains that they're painting and the things that they're doing in the streets and who has beef with who and how to settle it and how many pieces and fill-ins and throw-ups and tags that you have to do to reach a quota so that you can be a part of said crew. Like all of that stuff kind of floods back in as I'm thinking about it and speaking on it right now. And I mean, it was amazing because just like this is new, that was new to me, and it was fun.
Do you say
the oral history? We'll do the oral history.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you say the All City Riders?
So like all City Riders was actually the name of a crew back in the late 70s, early 80s. But when you say All City and you open it up to like something like a meeting, right? So that means there are artists that, especially back then where, things weren't so like instant, like how we have Instagram, you can just get on and see where art all over the world. I was a Southside guy, I'm a
blockchain.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a Southside guy, so a lot of the artists that I would see was specific to the neighborhoods that I traversed. So, I would see guys that were in a crew called the Necrobats, NOS. You had Pugsley Adams. You had a crew that spawned from the Necrobats with some guys that are in a crew called RK now. So I met a guy named Static there and Arrows who paints his real name now. Max Hansing is one of the most prolific character artists in Chicago right now. But a lot of these guys, like I said, we met as kids and maintained friendships and built with each other and still are very connected to this day in our own ways, But you would get artists that would come from all over the city to do that, to be a part of that meeting.
What's it like when some of the guys like start to make it and some don't? When like all my art sells for like fuck you money, and Mr. Bootman here is sitting here still trying to crack those first sales. Like how are we gonna help them through it?
That's kind of hard to say because I'm one of those people where it depends on how you want me to answer that question too, because you can see from where I'm from, like where I'm, my perspective, I've been painting, this is my 25th year. I'm going on 26 years of graffiti art. And, in that time, I've sold things as low as $10 and almost six figures worth of art, in movies and TVs, so like,
not for
it's
the
a
money,
tough question.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough question, and it depends on where you are in your career too.
How do you do a failure in any walk, right? Like some things you're gonna do are gonna work, some things you're gonna do are not. My very first company failed, right? I had a company that could give you guest passes to gyms and a bunch of businesses or a bunch of different gyms, and ultimately I ended up losing the class pass, and now I see LinkedIn groups with like 300,000 followers just selling passes to gyms, and it was like, that was my first company, and they figured out integration before I did, and those lessons are one that I don't sleep on APIs anymore, put it that way. But
and Michael, don't worry. Once my art really takes off and you're still trying to get your first sale, I will be happy to shout you out and send people your way. And I'll also, anytime you need, can give you some tips and tricks on like how to make really quality art. I'm here for you.
All right. Well, maybe you can trail and carry my Medici room for me.
Got you. Yeah, Corey, I wouldn't want to tell an artist how to do their work, but I would love to see you put something together like about your time with the crew in Chicago, whether it's the All City Riders or anyone else. I think you've probably got some good stories, some good emotion there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of cool stuff has happened, man. I've never met. I can't say that I had anything to do as far as like affiliation with the actual crew, All City Riders. But like I said, you had North Side guys that didn't see South Side guys, or if you went to the North Side, you would see their names specifically in that region or that area, opposed to seeing it in Chicago, like on the South Side. But then you have some artists or some graffiti artists that are all city guys, where no matter where you go in the greater Chicagoland area and bordering suburbs and possibly a few states around there, you're going to see their names because that's what they do. They paint on shit, you know? So, it's really interesting, like how deep you can get into graffiti and how you don't have to be as involved either and still be a part of the culture. Like, when I was a kid, I was a part of a crew called the Spray Brigade. We called ourselves SB. I was a young guy in a crew where these guys are like the elite. They're like the elite graffiti artists in Chicago, where they didn't just paint and like scribble stuff. They did productions, and they taught you how to create murals and do it illegally and get away with it, and still get your name up in a way that people can respect it, because it was literally grassroots graffiti. It was the way that it's supposed to be done. And a lot of that is, I attribute that to like how I approach illegal graffiti today, because it's one thing to go out and I don't and I love all of it. Don't get me wrong. I love every part of graffiti, from small tags to people scratching on things, to all the illegal stuff, to the people that are being creative and doing it and calling it street art. As long as they're very respectful of and know where it came from, I like to include all of it. But you know, part of the story of my first piece that I'm putting on the blockchain, Protect Black Women, came from a time that was like, I want to say politically driven, but also very like purpose driven. When COVID is just hitting, lockdown is happening, Breonna Taylor gets killed, George Floyd gets killed, and a lot of things are happening, in this way. A lot of Black women are coming up missing, and I felt like I needed to go do something about it. And for a brief period of time, I want to say at least once a week, I went out into the neighborhood and painted a different piece. And Protect Black Women was one of the ones that I did first.
I remember you did a series on that one too. We did some prints on that one too back a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, I did. I do. I got physical copies left from that. I've got about 8 left, and talking with Steve earlier, I've got 3 that I want to put up for sale through the Pirates Hit.
Pirates Hit crew.
Buy the NFT and you can get a physical piece, a print along with it. We'll figure out the logistics there.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the backstory, where it's like, for me, because of how things were spinning out in my life and in my community around me, I'm a community guy who has, the moxie to go out there and do shit, because I feel a certain way. Like, and that's what I really respect about graffiti artists, is like, they don't necessarily ask for permission. They make shit happen. They're doers. We get out and make things happen. And I mean, to me, everything that you and Stark say about, hitting the blockchain and Web3 and just saying fuck it, let's make it happen. It reminds me of like the gritty graffiti artist mentality,
Okay,
I love that.
Motherfucking Paul Henry of the blockchain. Just getting out there with those hammering away.
Yeah, because that is what like the blockchain is all about. Is it's a permissionless system, and it's just about the doers, the people that go and build stuff and say, hey, I don't care if Disney likes this or not. Like, I'm putting Darth Vader's face on Mickey Mouse, and we're gonna make some art.
There you go. Well, and that's kind of, we could talk about that strategy at some point too. And we'll talk all kinds of fun guerrilla art strategies and marketing strategies and things that we've seen work for friends and artists as we get to go. And, like we're just getting started. We're going to do some shows from here down in Miami. And, I'm going to be going to Italy and doing a couple shows with the guys from over there. And then, coming in the new year, we're going to start to add a little more structure and just, make this a little more accessible and easier for folks to kind of wrap their arms around it and join the crew. But our first step in that is figuring it out ourselves. And, the easiest way and the best way we found to do that is to literally like make it and to make the art and, to go through that exercise of really thinking about what we want these shows to be each day. And Corey, thank you so much for sharing that and your work and your story and, your journey with us. This is not a journey too many people get to kind of experience. And you and I have been friends for a long time, and I've just loved being a fly on the wall and a friend and supporter of yours over the years. And, I'm just excited to bring others into this story a little bit.
Yeah, on that note, if anyone wants to get up on stage and join the chat, probably should have said this at the beginning of the show, but we're learning. I don't know what the best process. Maybe in the Q&A, just say, "Hey, bring me up," or somehow react. But
I don't know, Steve. I do need an air horn sound though. I need an air horn here quick. We have a bid. We have a bid on a Steve Abootman joint.
Is that true?
I think we do. Check it out. Go to the dashboard. Oh!
Let's go.
Oh God, this is fun, guys. All right. Well, Marwan and Lily, you guys are G's. We love you. You're sticking out this whole show with us as we figure it out on the fly. If you ever want to come up and say hello, no appointment needed. You are filed away in the Stark Mind Show memory bank of good humans on the human blockchain. So we appreciate you. And Woody, we see you too. And I saw my guy Justicia pop in as well. He's doing some amazing work in philosophy and writing and all that over in Holland. So who knew? We're like 4 episodes in, and we got a global audience already. So pat on the back, guys. Now let's sell some art. So we got pieces up. We're gonna be dropping some kind of multiple edition ones that are gonna be the show art for each week, and we're probably gonna make a few more of them each episode. So as the show goes, we got a few more room on the bandwagon each episode, and we're gonna price those to sell and just give people a chance to be a part of this, support it with small dollars, and bring this bandwagon on the blockchain with them. So that's kind of the idea, and we're gonna struggle for our supper, show for it as best we can, but we're not gonna stop making stuff. And good luck shutting down this pirate radio.
That's right.
But sure would be nice if we had a war chest and lots of treasure and booty to throw at ridiculous stunts and skits and elaborate public art projects. So dream big, kids, someday.
Yeah, we're gonna troll the corporations and the powers that be, and get our message out to the people.
We have some really fun ideas regarding sponsorship. So I'm out. We're got a Man of the People episode today. We're just walking down Miami Beach, getting the full effect. But kids, I got some work to do here. I've got an art gallery to set up. So it's been real. Did we achieve everything we set out to on this Cyber Monday ode to consumerism showtacular?
I think we're set. Yeah, we'll be posting the auctions and showing those out on Twitter. Let's see, Michael. When do you think the next episode? When do you want to do that?
Hey. Enjoy art every day. Sometime this week. I'll probably do one on Wednesday. I'm hosting a big dinner on Friday. This is crazy, but I'm co-hosting the dinner with podcasting legend and Gary Vee speaker, Swan Sit. So she like won Clubhouse and like had the most followers in Clubhouse history, and now wants to host a dinner with me on Friday. So maybe we'll get the Swan Sit boost. So she rocks. I'm super excited to host dinner with her. I think we're gonna do a Medici Spaces tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. So I don't know. You can probably find me talking somewhere this week, and I will would love to do it for this show where we might make money allegedly someday. So here's to owning your voice.
There we go. All right.
All right.
Good to be here with y'all.
I gotta run. I gotta go to Alvin's Island, guys. Free promo for Alvin's Island. But,
I don't know what any
all
of
right,
that means.
Godspeed. Store the guy surfing called Alvin's Island.
Beautiful. Well,
all right.
Good luck with the art sales, guys.
All right, I will catch you guys tomorrow, and then maybe we'll come back to the airwaves on Wednesday and give you a live update from the Medici Gallery in Miami Beach. And good times, guys. Appreciate y'all. And we got some fun street art going down here too. I may or may not be working on a secret project involving the Board 8 Yoga Club. So stay tuned. We've got some shocking and exciting news to come in the days ahead.
And that's where a shout out to Fireside for the video capabilities. I think that will be pretty excellent.
Dude, I'm just gonna be like walking at all my podcasts now. Like, right? Like, can they even stop me? There is no studio. The world is my studio. It's incredible.
It's permissionless.
I love it. Well, here we go. It's a permissionless art, to permissionless life, to making new shit. So you guys, I appreciate you showing up and giving a damn. Until next time, andiamo.
Cheers.
Cheers. Now, how do we turn this thing off? Let's boomer.